The hospital at night was always the same dumb, quiet, with only the hum of medical equipment and the occasional footsteps echoing down empty halls. Karen Milla had been working the night shift for months, and though she had grown used to the silence, there was one place she always avoided: the corridor leading to the morgue. It was colder than the rest of the hospital. The fluorescent lights flickered more than they should, and every time she walked past it, she felt as though something was watching her from the shadows. One night, while reviewing patient records at the nurse's station, she heard something. A whisper. "Karen?" She froze, glancing around. The hallway was empty. The only movement came from the flickering light above. She swallowed hard and forced herself to ignore it, blaming exhaustion. But the next night, it happened again. And the night after that. Each time, the voice grew clearer, calling her name from the darkness. One night, while passing the morgue corridor, she saw her. A woman in a pale hospital gown, standing at the far end. Motionless. Her long, tangled hair covered her face. Karen's breath hitched. She took a step back. Then, slowly, the woman's head tilted to the side too far, as if her neck was breaking. A guttural whisper filled the air. "Karen, look at me." She bolted, heart pounding, and didn't stop until she reached the nurse's station, nearly crashing into Dr. Rendy. "Did you see that?" she gasped. "See what?" "There was a woman in the corridor, near the morgue." Dr. Rendy frowned. "Karen, that hallway has been closed for renovations. No one should be there." Her stomach turned. She knew what she had seen. The following night, things escalated. The whispers grew more insistent. "Karen, Karen!" And the woman was getting closer. The final straw came when she heard footsteps following Herbert. When she turned, there was nothing. Terrified, she rushed back to the nurse's station, her hands shaking as she grabbed a nearby patient file, anything to distract herself. Her blood ran cold when she saw the name on the file. Karen Milla, Morgue Room 03. Her breath stopped. Her hands trembled as she flipped through the pages. Date of admission, 3 days ago. Cause of death, car accident. "No, this is wrong," she whispered. "I'm alive." A soft hum filled the room as the computer screen darkened. And then she saw her reflection, faded, transparent. The realization hit her like a wave. She remembered now. The rain, the slippery road, the moment her car lost control. She never made it to work that night. She had been dead for 3 days. Something pulled her forward, her legs moving on their own. She walked through the empty halls, past the whispering voices, toward the morgue. She stepped inside and saw herself. Her own body lay cold and lifeless on a steel table, partially covered by a white sheet. Tears filled her eyes as she reached out. But when her fingers touched her own face, they passed right through. A whisper. "Karen?" She turned. The woman in the hospital gown stood at the doorway, smiling wider than before. Karen finally understood. The woman wasn't someone else. She was Karen, or rather the shadow of what she had become, waiting for her to realize the truth. A final breath escaped her lips, and then the darkness swallowed everything.